Can you shift that projector somewhere?
Yes, for these lights.
Then turn off the lights too. Just shift the whole table one side. Yeah, then also move the height of it.
Are you guys there able to see?
Engineers at the back, are you able to see properly? Okay. Last time we demarcated for our cut and fill, where we were having a difference between the design profile and the existing profile. So remember when we were editing the shading, you right click, then you come to your design view properties, you come to hashing, then you had the cut and fill information. Certain gentleman said that they don't show up. One, we can analyze whether the surface that we are having, one of them is a design, one of them is an existing, okay? So if you're not really very sure, sometimes they can be multiple, they label themselves, but if you only have two, then one of them is existing. You only have two? Check. They are around 4. Okay. So if they are around 4, then you need to find out the one that you're supposed to be working with. Unfortunately, it's very hard for us to identify or select manually. So the best we can do is one, you can highlight this one, right click, you come to its properties, then you rename it. Okay? You name it to an identical name. For example, you can say Mediana EG1, fine? So you can do that for easy identification while you're trying to. Then equally, do the same for this one. can come and rename it, or maybe design profile per se. So I'll also come to this one, right click, go to the profile properties, then I can call this existing profile, channel existing ground profile. So as I click OK, so I'll come here, right click, go to my go to my profile view properties, come here. So when I come to cut and I drop down, I should be able to identify them properly. The one of the design profile and then the one of existing profile. So once you've done that, then you make sure that you're using only those two. Sometimes you make multiple profiles, or sometimes you actually have multiple profiles. When you have a junction, you make different alignments. The different alignments will have their different profiles. Okay? So if you made those adjustments and you haven't seen any changes yet, okay? Then we come to our style. So you come to our style, then you come to edit the current selection, then you check here. You check actually you have to come to the profile. Instead of plan, you come to profile, then you check the scale of your shading, because sometimes the scale is too big that it may not be able to show up in your shading. So you reduce that scale to something less than 1, so that you increase your rate at which they are putting the shading lines. So if you have still find issues with that, then it means somehow the drawing still has its own issues, beginning from the alignment. Okay? So you can try fixing that, and then you let me know. So ladies and gentlemen, last time we had edited our axis views. I think we had changed these to Times New Roman. So I change this Times New Roman. Equally, if you don't want to go through a lot of inconveniences trying to change every time you produce some text, you just come to annotate. You look at standard. Remember, this is where we edit our dimensions, text, everything. Now ours mostly, if you look at our text labels, you look at the format, the text style that we have is standard. Now standard always defines our font style in this case. So our font style by default is defined by standard. So instead of every time changing to Times New Roman, we'll come to editing or managing our set, which is standard. As you can see, the font name of choice by default is simplex. So instead of changing every time, you just come here, then you change everything to Times New Roman once and for all, then apply. So automatically every text that you have in your in your drawing to change times New Roman every text, including these ones that you haven't even touched. Okay, so that could be probably be a shortcut instead of changing every time, but I needed to show it so that you can have the freedom to change whatever you want. Okay, yeah, so those that haven't yet changed, you can even just you come to annotate, drop down on standard, you come to manage your text style, then you make sure that you actually highlighted on standard. You highlighted on standard, then you can even change your text, your font name, even the style. Could be, if you want it to be entirely bold and italicized, you can even change the height in case you want. Obviously, the height depends on what you have, which is predetermined by the text, but that's why it's by default is 00, because it varies from one item to the other. Okay? So once you're done, you just apply, then you close. Right now, I already have what I have, so I will just eliminate that. So that is it. So what we are supposed to continue with, our agenda today. I'm going to first open my drawing. Our agenda today, we are going to add what they call bands. Okay. Bands is just the information that you want to define your profile with. So we are going to have the station band, we are going to have a cut and fill band, then we are going to have a vertical and horizontal geometry band. We are going to also have a spy elevation band, okay? And also equally a station band. So that's what we're going to be adding. After we're done with that, we are going to come to how to edit an assembly so that we can be able to generate our corridors. Then in our corridor, we are going to look at target mapping, and if time allows, then we are going to look at how to deal with our section views. And those section views will include the bands. Okay. So allow me to kick off from here. So the other thing that is missing here are the bands. Usually bands defined what we have, the information that we have along our alignment and profile view. Okay. So can I allow a bit of if we first design profile?
That's the bands enough time.
We shall. Okay. So for us to add our bands, remember we are done with our design profile. Sorry, our design view style. So our design view style is already looking okay. So then we are going to be editing our properties for the profile. So right click, come to profile view properties. We've added some hashing. We have looked at our profile, what we have drawn in our profile. Then we have looked at our elimination for the levels. Remember we talked about different heights. You can either be automatic or you can specify a certain elevation, including our chainage, which chainage you want to start with and the one you want to end with. The information, which profile view style are you working with. So the remaining part is called band. So once you've added a couple of them, that's what I call a band set. So you can actually, if you already have a band set I usually work with, you can instead import it. But we're first going to be creating one of our own band set style. So band sets can also be equally be on top of the profile view, or they can be below the profile view. So that means that you're either putting them on top this side, or you can put them on the bottom. But most of them, as we have illustrated, they are going to be entirely on the bottom. So the first band set you're going to be putting, so the first band you're going to be putting is going to be station, which is the band type is going to be profile data. Okay, so you come here and then you come and click on station, right? Once you click on station, then you add. So they're going to tell you each and every illustration the station is going to be collecting, all the information it's going to be having. So you just add that. Once you add that, you click OK. then you should be able to see our band showing up. Okay, do you all have our band added into our section? Okay, let me repeat that. Right click, first highlight the band, first highlight the profile view, then you come to your profile view properties. Okay, so let me first remove this. So I'll come to my profile view, my profile data, then I can come and add my station band. Then I click add, enter. I can, while I'm at it, I can equally add the one for cut data, enter. So if I'm to apply, should be able to see my band showing up like this. Okay. Very good. Do you all have that? At least done for station and cut. Can I continue? Okay. Okay. So I'm going to continue. So I'm going to be editing band per band. So what I can first talk about the bands. For example, in this drawing. So for example, what you see here, we are going to have a demonstration for station in this arrangement. So what you see here is that this band is comprised of different elements, okay? So this first element here you see, this is the band. This is the band title, okay? This word here is the band title. Then this box here that you see on this other side is called the band title box. Then there is other information on this other side. This other information you see is the band box. This is the band title box, this is the band box. Then the illustration you have here, we have for major, and then you have intermediate being minor. Okay? Yeah. Then what you see here, these ticks here, as you can see, my ticks here, we have what they call full band ticks, which one? The ones that run from the top of the band to the bottom of the band. Then you have those that are cut in the middle. Now those ones are short bands, band ticks. Okay? So we're going to see how we can easily add them, and also the orientation of the text to be to a certain angle. So as you can see here, there are a lot of, especially for this band specifically, there's a lot of information missing, right? We only have information for the major, as you can see. We only have information for the major. So we are lacking a band title box. Then you're also lacking a band box. You get? So we are going to first add those and also add the title. So I'm going to come to my profile view properties. Then there's what they call a gap. For example, there is a gap between this band and this band, and that gap is created by this value. Okay? So first things first, we can eliminate this value and put it to 0 so that these bands are all together, just like I showed you in the other first illustration. We don't need the gaps between our bands, so I'm going to put them to 0, then I am going to apply. So as I apply, as you can see, they are now all together. But here we are missing a band box. So for me to edit this band, I'm going to come to station, then you come and click on this area here. This area here, so you click, double click, so that can be able to show up. So we are going to be editing station, right? So if I want to edit station, or if I want to change this station to something else, I can come and highlight it from here. But since we are dealing with station for now, I'm going to come here and edit the current selection. So as you can see, we have on our title bar, we have different items. So our menu bar, we have different items. One is the name of the name of the band, right? So you have station. You can even change it. You can maybe call it chainage in case. So maybe let's change this to chainage for us to be a little bit comfortable with what we're doing. Let's call this chainage because station is still the same as chainage. Then let's come to our band details, right? So this area here, as you can see, the title text is where we edit our title text from. Here is where we edit the rest of the information. Remember, we have the title, we have the band title box. So this is how you edit that information from this title text. So if you want to edit the word station, this is where you edit it from. Then there's what they call a general layout. For example, this band here has a certain height. This is the height of that band, okay? Then the title box, so like how long it is. For example, for the word to fit, this is where you edit it from, okay? If I'm to go back, for this first one, before I highlight a lot of those things, we don't have the title box, we don't have the title, and we don't have the band box itself. So we're going to first add those. They are not showing because also in our display, they are not highlighted. So I'll come to edit the carrying section. You will come to display. As you can see, our band border, which is the rest of the information that's supposed to be, just like you see this. This is the band border. So we first make sure it's visible. Then our band title box. Also make sure it's visible. Then our band title box text. Make sure it's also visible. Okay? So as I click OK, and I apply, as you can see, this is the information that they have given us. Okay, this is the title that they have given us in our station band. Okay, are we all there? Okay, so this is the information we have. So we have highlighted that. Now we have made sure that our title, our band title borders, and our band title box is also, they're all visible. Okay, so just bear with me for this first band. The rest of them, they are going to be easier to edit. So once we understand these basics, they are going to be easier to edit the rest of the bands. So we are going to make sure we have our band title and everything else. So the first thing we are going to do, since we have made sure that we have our band title text box also this being displayed, we are going to change this word to either station or chainage. Okay, so let's edit that word. Come to edit the current selection. Let's go back to our band details, from display to edit band details. Okay, so you come to the title text. You click on the title text. As you can see, if I zoom out and pan, my title text is band data. Okay, so as you can see, the component that we only have is band title. So if you come to contents, we have profile data. So we are going to change that by clicking on these three dots. You highlight it. Then I'm going to put this in upper cases. We can call this chainage. Okay, are we all there? Do you all have chainage? So once I've clicked on chainage, as you can see, it's not actually in the center of the band title text box. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in the middle of the center. Then also come to the attachment and click this in the middle of the center. So that is also centered. Okay. So we can equally change the color to probably say yellow, or maybe let's use cyan. Okay, and click OK. Are we all there? Not yet. Can I repeat? Okay. So I'm going to cancel all my changes for now. So let's go back to our, okay, do you have our borders showing up? Okay, so let me repeat that one more time. Come to your band set, right click, go to your profile view properties, come to your station, edit the current one. Okay, so we are changing the title. So you come to compose the label. For all I know that you're all familiar with this interface. Okay, so if you're not, if it has clicked in general, you make sure you're in layout. In layout, this is just general information on the band on behavior, whether the label is visibility is true or not, things like that. We also have what they call drag state. Drag state is if I drag this band to somewhere else, how will it behave? Will it retain some of its properties? Okay, this is why you edit the drag state. If I've dragged this name of the profile data, if I drag it to somewhere else, will it retain its properties, or will I have to change its display? This is where you change all those properties from. But let's be in layout so that we can be able to edit our band. So the first thing that I changed was the context. Sorry, context. So I come to my band, click on the three dots, then change the name to chainage. Let me call it this chainage and click OK. So if I zoom in and then pan, I should be able to see my chainage values. Okay. Engineer, are you there? You there? Okay. Then we can equally change. If you're not okay with height, you can change the height. You can change the orientation depending on what you want. What we wanted to change here mostly was the alignment within the box. So I'm going to change the anchor point to center, middle center. Then also come to the attachment, change it to middle center. Then it should be able to be aligned to the center in all ways. Okay. I'm going to click OK. Perhaps I also changed our color. I change this to cyan. Then I click OK. Once I'm done with that, I can click OK. OK. Then I can click Apply. You should be able to see our changes effective immediately. Okay. Are we all okay? Are we at the same point? For those with the software but they don't have the drawing as yet, please you can talk to Davis. I don't know if Davis is around. He has a flash with the drawing that I'm currently using. Can be able to share with you so that we can move all together. Okay. So if you don't have the drawing as yet, you can raise up your hand. Davis will be able to reach out to you. Okay, for now we can continue. So once I'm done with that value, now the next thing that I'm going to be editing is going to be this other side, the band information. I'm done with the band title and also the band title box. The other thing maybe I can talk about is how do we edit this color, for example, for this band. So right click on my profile after highlighting it, profile view properties. You come to our band station, edit the current selection. Now you come to display. Remember our band border is in blue, so you can change it say to cyan. Then also the band title box, we can also change it to cyan so that they are all matching. Click OK, OK, OK. So as you can see, everything has been able to change. Okay. I hope we are all there. That is now how we can change. We can control the colors, especially on the axis or for the different items by changing them from the display profile. Okay. The other thing that I've seen is that we have this value here interfering with our band, we are going to remove this value. So instead of now going to properties, we are going to go to view, because this is controlled by the view. We're going to come to editor profile view style, and then we are going to, you see this label here, tick at the label to the left. I'm going to unmark against it, then I apply. This value will be able to disappear.
Which one?
Are you okay? Okay. I'm trying to remove this value so that it cannot be able to interfere with our band. So what I do, I'll highlight our profile view, right click, come to edit profile view style, then just unmark. If you're on the left or the right, make sure that you are in, okay, in actually both orientation, you can unmark against it. Then click OK. This first value should be able to disappear. Are we together? Hello? Are we over there? I call by that. Just that we create a bit inconsistent. So could you get it? Are we over there? Engineers, are we over there? We good? Where are we? Band? Band still. Are we changing the color? Not yet. Are we changing the text? I need to find this somewhere, but you should give me a clue. Okay? So I'm going to be asking you, do you have this band? On that band, have you edited the text called chainage? Not yet. So come highlight this band, come to edit the current selection, right? Then you come to band details, okay? So what we are editing is called the title text. So the other question I have, do we have the boundaries? You do? Okay, good. So what we are going to do, actually, do you have a text in here, in your border? Do you have a text? If you don't have a text, then you come to your display. You should be able to make sure that these first three are displayed. So you make sure that actually, if you don't have a text, then you make sure this is highlighted. Your title, is it highlighted? And doesn't show any text down there. Or you have profile data in that box. You have profile data, right? Okay, that's good. So we come to our band details. So changing that profile data, we are going to come to compose label. Okay? Once you come to compose label, you are going to look at text. You have general, then you have text. In our text there, you come to contents. The first item on the text, right? Have you seen it? So first click on text value. If you look here, there is value, then you come click to text value, then click on those three dots. Okay? Should be able to see information here is supposed to be profile data, right? So you highlight that data, that information, you just click on it. Once it's highlighted, you change that value to chainage. Is it change? You make sure they're all in uppercase. Are we okay? Okay, just click OK. Then the other thing, you come to general, anchor point, you change this to middle center. Make this middle center, then come to text, then come to attachment, change this also to middle center. Okay? So once you have all that, here in your view, your preview, you're supposed to make sure that this is all in the center. You have changed the attachment and you have changed the anchor point. Okay? So I'll click OK. After I'm done with that, just click OK. OK throughout so that you can be able to see your changes. Okay? Yeah. Do you have this text still displayed or you removed it? You have it. So if you have it, then we are supposed to go back to our profile view style, right click. After you've highlighted, come to edit profile view style. Then you come to your vertical axis. You click whether on the left or right. You make sure this is no longer marked against. It's no longer ticked because it's usually ticked. If it is ticked, just unmark it. Are we okay? Do that for the both left and right. So once you're done, you just click OK. That text should be able to disappear. So now we are all at this point, right? Okay. So we are going to edit these values. We are going to orient these values to 90 degrees. Our change values, and also display them because we only have the minor. We only have the major values. So we are going to right click, come to edit, not profile view styles. Come to our profile view properties. Right click here, double click, edit the current. The other thing is that as you realize, we have labels at major, then you also have labels at minor. Okay? So the one of minor are not displayed, so we are going to make sure they are being displayed. Then you are going to click OK. I hope we are all there. Click OK, then apply. Click OK. We're about to display. So you have made sure the display is on. Okay. Sometimes actually they don't display. I'm going to show you a reason as to why. When I come to my labels and ticks, okay. When I come to my minor chainage and I come to my compose label, as you can see, there is no component attached to it. That's why it's not displaying. Okay. However, for the major one, once you come to the major chainage and you come to compose table, for it has a text is displaying. So even though you have even though you've made sure that in the display it is highlighted, doesn't exactly mean that it's going to be able to display in your band values. Okay, so that could be also one reason as to why. So what I'm going to do, let's first edit maybe the orientation of the major ones, then we can come back to our minor ones and edit that. Okay, so we come to our labels and ticks. Let's come to compose label. So still remember, we are already familiar with this layout. What we are going to be changing, unfortunately for it cannot preview for us here for the minor, for the major ones, we are going to work on gospel truth. Okay, so we're going to orient our angle to 90 degrees. Okay, then the other thing that I haven't talked about, after I'm done orienting it to 90 degrees, as you can see, this is attached to the top of the band. We have the top of the band. This is attached to the middle of the band. Then there's one that can be attached to the bottom of the band. Okay, so now we are going to make sure the attachment is at the bottom of the band, sorry, the middle of the band. So I'm going to right click, come to profile view, come to my major. I hope you get familiar with these okay things, because there's a lot of things going on before you actually see any change. So just bear with me. Come to edit, come to our major chainage, come to compose. So as you can see, our anchor point here is band top. So we are going to make sure it is band middle. Okay. Second thing is that, okay, let me allow this. We have allowed for a full band height tick, but they are not showing up. As you can see, if you come to display, we have ticks for, they have major ticks and minor ticks, and they are not visible. Okay, so maybe you can make the visibility of the major tick happen. Click OK, and click on session OK. Then so we can apply. So as you can see, you should be able to have something like this. We have our full band ticks, then we have our orientation, and so this is attached to the band middle. Okay? Are we all there? There? Okay. We change the orientation to 90 degrees. We change them. It's okay. Okay. I'm going to right click here. Right click. Come to my profile view. So in my profile view properties. Edit the current selection. Come to our band details. Come to major. Compose text. Should be able to change it from here. If this is 0, you put it to 90. Have I left anyone else behind? Are we all on the same page? Okay? If we all have the bands looking like this, then the better. If you have any queries, please you let me know before I continue. I'm editing this one band, and the other ones are going to be, we are going to focus on something else, but when the edits are going to be similar. So this is okay? Are we all here? Not yet.
Yes, display the full band ticks, but they're not showing on the profile.
Okay.
Full band ticks.
Sorry?
The full band ticks are not showing.
The full band ticks. Remember, I also said that displays controls the display of the ticks. So maybe, yeah, you can switch the display on. Any more queries? I'm going to illustrate that in a minute. Okay, fine. This gentleman is coming out to help, okay? So I'm assuming that the rest of us have the same. You had a question? Okay. I'm assuming that everyone is almost at the same point. So we are going to now, remember now our values are behind the tick. I'm going to move them in front, okay? So how we do that is that we are going to make sure that our edit, for the other gentleman, for our bands not showing up, it's because of the display here. You have to make sure that you come to the ticks of the minor, where are they? Here, minor, major ticks. Make sure the display is on. The display is off, then they are not going to show up. Are we okay?
Yes.
We okay? Okay, fine. So the other thing we are going to talk about is going to be moving or offsetting these values, especially in the x-axis. So I'm going to come to my band details, come to compose label. Remember here we have the y and the x, okay? So first make sure that the y value is on 0. So I'm going to first click organize C. I don't know if most of your values were all on 0, but mine wasn't. So I'm going to first see how that is going to affect. So this wasn't still oriented in 0 axis. So since this is one exactly in the middle, then I'm going to now offset it in the x-axis, okay? So I'm going to come to station, come here to edit the current selection, compose, label. Then I'm going to move it in the X, but in the negative direction. So let me move it by, first of all, as you can see, its height is 3.5. So let me move it by a value bigger than its height. So it can move to a distance that's bigger than its height. So I'm going to put this to 4. Actually, I'm going to use -4 since we are moving to the opposite side of the X value. Click OK. Click OK, OK, and apply. So as you can see, my values have been able to move. Sorry? Let me edit this band and go for break.
10.
Less than 10.
Okay, let me say 10 for him.
Fine. Are we okay? Are we there? Have we made some displacement? So my 4 hasn't really entirely worked. So I'm going to move that by another value. I'm going to change that value to -5 instead. Let me put -5, click OK, 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 then apply. So I think this is good to go, right? Are we good? We're good, eh? Okay. The other thing that we are missing are the minor axis, right? So the minor axis, so the minor changes, we have already made sure that our minor annotations or labels at minor changes. Make sure it's highlighted also. You come to display, labels at minor changes, make sure they are displayed. Okay? Then we come back to our band details. Come to the minor change. Let's come to minor change, come to compose label. As you can see, I have nothing here, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down here, come to text, then add text. Okay? As you can see, once I have added text, this has already showed me there is some text there, some label text. Okay, come to compose again. So do you have all this? Do you all have this? Do you have something like this? Not yet. For some reasons, some software already make sure that they already have the display for the minor changes. If you already have that, then there is no need for you adding to text. Like I said, there was nothing here entirely. Do you all have nothing there? Do you all have text, or we didn't have text? We didn't have text. We didn't have text, okay? So if you didn't have text, or if you already had text, it's okay. We can edit the text later, okay? But if we didn't have text, which is the component name, or if you didn't have any component attached to it, then you come here, right? Then just come to add text. Just click on this text, add. Then you should supposed to have a component right here, okay? As you can see, I have something that is already being labeled as text, okay? So now the first thing I'm going to be editing is called text here, the name. I'm going to call this minor. I'm going to call this minor, sorry. Let me call it entirely minor change. Okay? So the component name has already changed. The other thing that we need our values to be in the middle of the band. So we're going to make sure it is band middle, right? Remember orientation last time was 90 degrees, so we are going to put this at 90 degrees. Okay. The text height, I think we can take a smaller text height than one of the major ones, so we can take 2. Okay. So for now, it's okay. Then on our contents, it's displaying label text, because here in our contents there's only label text. So we are going to change this to a certain equation that displays changes. So come here, you highlight label text, then you highlight here, make sure it is change value. Okay. Then I'm going to just add that change value. Are we all there? Fine, it's okay. But we all have this? We have this, right? So let's come to contents. Are we at contents? Once you click on label, the 3 dots should be able to show up. Okay? I'm going to click on the 3 dots. Then I'm going to come and highlight that label text. Is it highlighted? Okay. Now you come and check your properties. This is where you can easily change the equation from, right? So I'm going to click on change value, and I'm going to add. Once I click on this arrow, it is going to replace whatever is here that is highlighted to the value of the equation. So I'm going to just add that value. Should be able to change from label text to this equation. Are we all there? It's okay, even if you have station value, it's the same. The language is just interchanging, okay? You can have station value or change value. So once we have that, then you can just click OK. This value should be able to show up. Okay? Since it's an equation for or station value, as you can see, our changes are changing, okay? And the other thing that I've seen is that we have a precision that is to the second decimal place. So we are going to remove that precision for now. So I'm going to come back to compose. Now, as you can see here, on my precision, there is 0.01, okay? Is 0.01. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this to precision 1. I'll go change to precision 1. Then I'm going to highlight my equation again, and I'm going to replace it with this new. Once I highlight this, they're going to show me the variables. So I'm going to first delete this. Let's first delete what we have. Then come here and change the precision to 1. Right? Then I just add. So just so that I make sure that my precision is to 1. Once I click OK, this value should be alone. Okay? So once that value is alone, I'm just going to click OK. Right? Click OK. And I'm going to click OK here. I haven't been changing to a different. I think I've been changing a different band. Let me come to my profile view properties, station, scan selection, major, compose. So I'm going to do the edits quickly here so that I can be able to change. Going to come here, row values. Let me change this to precision 1. Replace that value. Click OK. So we have those values. Then click this orientation to 90. Then make sure it is in the band middle. Okay. Text height. Text height is we chose 2. Copy 2. Okay. Do you have anything else? Maybe here changing the value to minor change. Then click OK. I think everything else is set, mostly. Click OK, OK, OK. Then apply. as you can see. So this is what we have, okay? I think we should hit a file break, then we can be able to continue from here, okay? For those that are still behind, you let us know. As you can see here, our minor changes in the x-axis are quoted differently. So let's first head for our break, then we shall be able to come back and move on. Okay, so let's break off. For those with queries, please, you can be able to ask. For those that do not have any queries, let's go to pick our breakfast.